Good morning, everybody. How are you all? Just waiting for you all to hop on. Gee, I should join a choir, shouldn't I? As a matter of fact, I'm trying dancing lessons. Okay, so Carolyn, Brenda, welcome. Tina, Lloyd, welcome everybody. Apologies for my lateness. Sometimes I don't get, it doesn't kick in exactly on time, which is a pain in the neck. How are you all this morning? Pop on, and when you're on, tell me where you're hopping on from, and how are you all. Tell me how you're feeling, tell me how your day was, type it all in. And if you have a question that is about you, that you want the cards to read today, I'll answer a few today. The magic number seems to be about 3. I'll do 3. And very quickly, I want to share with you, what is intuition? Because I get a lot of my clients who say to me, oh, I'm really good at numbers, but I'm not good at, I'm not really good. I'm not psychic. I'm not, intuitive. And then I get other clients that say, I wouldn't even know where to start. And so I thought that's interesting because, I'll just move this camera. Okay, so the reason for that is because I think a lot of us, my age, and maybe even people in their 40s, their 50s, not everybody, right? I'm not talking to everybody here. I'm sure that most people, if you're on and you're listening to the things I do on Facebook and everything, you probably are an intuitive person. But very often I hear people say that. Do you hear people say that to you too? I'm not intuitive, but we are. And you see, the thing is, when you hear, other teachers, spiritual teachers or personal development therapists and whatever, and they're talking about intuition, which is now being talked about more than anything. I used to think that when I was little, and being a natural intuitive, my father knew that, but my mother, she was not like that at all, based on her upbringing. And so I suppose it's in your upbringing and what is strong. And mine was very strong, and my mother used to call me quite headstrong because I would have a feeling about things. Now, I just said the magic word, feeling, and people very often say to me, well, how do you know that you've got it? And then some people say, oh, I feel it in my body. I feel it in my body. Yes. And we don't always feel it in the right spot. I get, when I feel highly intuitive and aligned, my feeling is super strong, and I feel it in my body. It doesn't come from the head. The head, they're sort of like a time lapse, if you like. I'm talking about just how I feel intuitive. How do you feel your intuition? So if I get an intuitive feeling, it goes to my gut. It really does. It's sort of around where my belly button is, and I feel a very strong urge, not an urge to be sick or anything. It's like as if someone's pushing into my, it's a feeling, a radiation, a sense, what do you call it, like pins and needles I get, or I get a rush that comes right up through my whole body from my belly button, so to speak, and then it could even make me cry, and that's how I know that it's super strong. But my intuition is there all the time, and trust me, I'm human too, and I don't always listen. And did you hear what I just said then? I'm human too. And at this point in time in our world, we are combining our humanness with the understanding of our divinity. Now, why did I just say that? Because your divinity is linked to your intuition. It is a natural part of that mechanism, if you want to call it that. It's a natural part of that essence. So your intuition can be a feeling in your body, and how we access that intuition, how we get to know it, how we get it to be our friend, how we unlock it, open it up, is through these things, through music, dance, drama, and self-expression. That's how we feel our intuition. The intuition is the key to the soul. And so when you go to art classes or anything creative, floristry or what else, sewing, gardening, anything where you're watching. I was watching my husband clean the pool the other day, and I was watching him maneuver, that little thingy that you've got to go down at the bottom of the pool, and he was in a motion, and I could see that he was connecting with the earth, the water. Even though he was doing a job, he was very at peace with the whole thing, with the way in which he was moving his arms. So that Falun Dafa, is it Falun Dafa, and those Tai Chi movements, those kind of things bring us back to our center. But so does, in a funny way, so does judo and the martial arts. Even though it's for self-defense, your power comes from your body, and you focus on that. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. So if you've got any questions for me, please by all means answer it. And today I'm going to, okay, right, what have we got here? Far out. I've got a whole bunch today. Oh my goshes. Wow, how am I going to read this? Okay, well, we have got, all right. Okay, so today is a very powerful day for everybody. And I'll tell you what I've got here. They all fell out. And I don't usually read 2, 4, 5 cards at once, but obviously 5 cards are here. All right, so I've got the 7 of Swords, the Princess of Swords, the 6 of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Prince of Pentacles. What do they mean? All right, so I'm going to put them out in front of me, okay? Hang on, I'll show you first. There we are. That's them. Hang on a sec. I keep forgetting that when I'm looking at myself, and I know you're listening, sometimes, there we are. That's the Success card. That's the sword. Now the 2 of Swords. Okay, I must make them how they showed up. Okay, how they showed up. Just going to make sure. Oh, wow. This is a fabulous reading, guys. Okay, so wish I could move the camera so you could see what I'm seeing. All right. Now, things are going to be revealed to you through your intuition. Okay, you're going to be able to now hone in to exactly what it is that's holding you back. You're going to be able to hone in on exactly what it is you need to do in your life. And if you've been worried about that and you're wondering, if you're feeling a change coming on and you're not entirely sure what it looks like, hang in there. And really, it doesn't mean hold your breath and go, well, I can't do anything until that happens, because you've got the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man, if you have a look at this card here, the Hanged Man, and look, there he is in all his glory. Amen. And he's hanging upside down, and parts of him look like a woman and parts of him look like a man. And he's hanging upside down in a very comfortable position. With the one knee up, he can breathe, he's A-OK, he's completely upside down, hanging on a tree, hands behind his back. He looks like he's been arrested. If you turn him up that way, who would want to sit like that for that long? All right, but he's comfortable, okay, because the energy, the chi can move around beautiful, and he's got a smile on his face, and he's got a branch in his mouth, which means he's quite very much at peace. Remember that story about the dove and Noah's Ark? And the dove came back with a branch to indicate that there's peace on earth and that there was a life. And so he's upside down, which is something we as human beings know is very uncomfortable. And anyway, so here he is, he's tied to the tree. And what does this mean for you? It means that even though things at the moment might be a bit yuck for you, they're going to get better. And the thing is to, even though you might have an intention or you're waiting for something to manifest, that is perfectly fine, because inside that time, what that means is that you go on with your normal work. You go on normally being very aware and using your intuition. So these cards mean for you today, okay? There are changes coming up. There's messages coming to you. There's messages, also an opportunity to make some more money, or there's money coming to you. So if you get that feeling to go and buy a scratchy or a lottery, or, you know, your money that's owed to you is coming your way also. Yay, that would be fabulous. And also there's success involved. So if there's something you've been toying with, like a bit of an idea, you know, to do this or to start a business or whatever it is, or to change jobs or to go visit somebody, because you've got both cards there, or if it's starting a radio show, or anything to do with communication, or anything to do with data entry, or anything to do with technology. If you're thinking about doing a technology course, or, you know, anything to do with the computer, anything like that, you're on the right track. Yes. So, you know, the idea, I've said this before, the idea of being blocked is only a mindset. You are not blocked, right? You are not blocked. You just think you're blocked. And so that is what stops us, that the idea that we think that we're blocked. Because someone said, oh, you're blocked there. Oh, okay, I'm blocked. Okay, well, how do I unblock it? You just got to give yourself a chance. You know, one of my team members, she doesn't do necessarily like painting or drawing, but she uses one of those colouring in books, you know, and she colours it in, and she uses her own imagination with what colour she's going to start with and things like that. So you don't always have to do a painting. It could be, you know, shading in. It could be drawing. It could be just sitting outside and drawing something, no matter how. I've got a friend of mine too. She takes her drawing book with her every time we go. And when we're in Bali, every 5 minutes sitting on the bus, or wherever we were sitting on having a chat, she'd start drawing somebody's face instantly. She just does it because that's how she sort of listens, if that makes sense. So she's listening to the lecture, or she's listening to the process, and she's drawing at the same time, and she's taking it all in, and she's writing words down. That's how she sort of documents her life in those little drawings. And so we all do it in a very different way. And because we've been taught, and we've been told maybe, oh, you're a shit drawer, you can't do this, I'll forget that. You know, it's so untrue. It is so untrue. I have not met one person, and I've taught thousands of people art, children and adults, in the workshops and everything that I have given. And I'm just seeing I've got a blue haze. Can you see that on this shoulder? Oh, hang on. There, can you see that? Wow, that's cool. Wonder what that, got a little angel sitting right there on my shoulder. Beautiful. Okay, so they're today's cards for you. So something is coming for you. That's wonderful. Now I'm going to very, very quickly tap into and use my other cards today. Let's have a look. Where I put them? Oh, here they are. Okay, so I'm going to go through the questions now and just see what people have asked. Hello, Wanda. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody who's on right now. I'm just going to the next. Yeah. Okay, Rebecca. So, yeah, you're feeling intuitive. Yeah, it sometimes scares you at times, but don't be scared of it, because that's where your power is. That is where your power is. And if you're scared of your power, ask yourself, why is that? And do you live powerless in your life? That's my question for you, my darling, and see if that makes any sense for you. All right, so I'm not going to give general readings. I'm looking for people who've got specific questions today. Yeah, and you're not blocked. It's there. You just got to find a way to start with something. You know, start with a simple art class. It doesn't mean you got to stay with it. You know, just go for one art class and see, and something will unblock it. Because the block is an imaginary, it's an illusionary block. You're not really blocked at all. Or do what my friend Joni does and grab yourself a colouring in book, you know, one of those lovely mandala ones, those beautiful mandalas. Get yourself a pack of really nice pencils and just get into that space. I know a lot of corporate women who do that, and they talk to me about that. And they say, Wanda, can you come and talk about, you know, creativity, and talk about ways in which we can be our creative selves, or just listen to music. Just listening to beautiful music that you love. I'm not going to say that rock and roll is specifically, you know, that's definitely for getting things unleashed out of you. You know, getting that out of you, but something that brings you back to the soul, something that you love to hear, that is gentle for you in your heart, you know, connects you that way. Well, I'm not seeing many questions. Yes. Hi, Jennifer. How are you, darling? Let's have a look. Well, it looks like there's not a lot of questions today. I'm just getting people who are on right now, so I've got no questions to answer. Hi, Brenda. How are you? How's Florida? You got any rain there? By the way, those of you who are on right now, has it been raining in the area where you are? Tell me about that, because I know it hasn't been raining and a lot of people are getting sick because we need some rain to clean the air. And, you know, my daughter-in-law's been very unwell, and with colds and flu and things of that nature. So just keep an eye on yourself. Hey, Carolyn, you're in Panania. Holy moly, that's amazing. I know where that is. I used to teach there a lot of years ago now. Okay, so, all right. Well, I'm not getting any major questions, you know, or general readings. So I'm going to choose somebody, okay? And I'm going to choose the first person on the list, who is, oh my goshes, let's have a look. Now I can't see. Hang on a minute, guys. Oh, okay. There's a person on called Kathy Percy. If you're on, this card is for you. Okay, because I don't know whether I've read for you before. Okay, so Kathy, here's your angel card for today. We all know it's for us as well. Okay, oh my God, I can relate to this one. The angel of exercise. Woohoo! Okay, so, right, so it's not just the angel of exercise with regards to your body, you know, getting out there, going for walks and, you know, the big pump job, you know, it's the angel of exercise in all areas. In other words, get back to your meditation, feel that rhythm of life, go and do something exciting. Now, what does that mean? Now, I don't mean go bungee jumping, you know, hop to New Zealand, well, you could, you know, but it's about getting out there and enjoying and breathing life in. Go for a walk along the beach, take the kids to the park, you know, have a little play on the swing yourself. And it's about getting you in spiritually, emotionally, physically in tune with what's going on in your environment. I can really relate to that because I've been so busy lately. I've been neglecting, not my meditation so much, but I'm neglecting my activity, you know, getting out there to art exhibitions or flowers, or walking through the rainforest, or doing something that you're connecting yourself with nature will very, very quickly ground you. And talking about grounding right now, I will say this to you as well, that we've had more of a download of energy coming, and those downloads bring in those codes, those light codes. So if you're naturally seeing 1111 or 2222 or 333 or 444 on number plates, and suddenly you're going, I saw that number 4, oh, that came up in my bank account, or whatever that is, what it is actually showing you is that you are attuned at that time, you are aligned at that time in your spiritual self. And that's going to be more and more happening. That's why you, when you're reading Facebook stuff, there's a lot more on intuition and how to develop your natural creative gifts. And even though, like, if you're like me and you know that you're intuitive, we don't always use it because we are programmed to use our mind more. And we don't always get results when we use our mind. And so therefore we always get aligned. Don't use your mind, get aligned. And that alignment means getting in alignment with your intuition. Your intuition is the key to your soul. It is part of that same energy. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. And now we are moving into the time of remembering who we really are. So I hope that has helped you, Kathy, to remind you to get back into your rhythm, to get back into listening to beautiful music, going and maybe working in the garden or doing something, even cleaning. I know that sounds ridiculous because as women, we always tend to be cleaning. I know that's for me. But sometimes I find if I'm cleaning, I get into a space of making something look beautiful, even if I'm cleaning the furniture and whatever. And I'm not just cleaning because, you know, the kids have made a mess or it needs cleaning. Sometimes doing something like that, renewing something, is also important. I'll give you an example before I go. So the last thing I want to tell you is I bought this table on the marketplace, and the guy brought it to me. It was about an hour away, and he dropped it off to me. And I said, where does this table come from? And he said the top part of it was from the old butter factory down in Taree, I think he said. It was an old butter factory in Taree, and it came from the door. And so he made a tabletop from the energy. So everything holds an energy, right? And then I said, what about the legs? And because it's a very unique table. And he said, well, the legs come from a ship. They came off I hauled them out of the water, and I took them with me, and I cut them up and I made them into the table legs. So I've got this beautiful table now that's from a butter factory, and that he found in the water, right? And so it's a white legs and he sanded down the whole table. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, those stencil prints. So I'm going to do a video of it and show you what I'm doing. And I'm going to put mandalas, paint white mandalas on the top of the raw timber, and then I'm going to varnish it, and then I'm going to put it into the yoga shed here on the property. We've got a Pilates instructor starting in a few weeks' time. Her name is Bron. She's joining the team. Yay! And I'm going to put a Buddha statue on top of that table, so that when she does her Pilates classes, she's got a beautiful Buddha or a Guan Yin watching over. The idea of a Buddha image for me, okay, is always very, very beautiful. It's very peaceful. So I'm now doing the interior designing, if you like, of the shed. Anyway, so that is what it is. And so that's why I like to get bits of furniture that are unique. Even if they're built by somebody who's not a tradesman, I don't care. Yes, it's a bit hot pot maybe for some people, I can understand that, but for me, I like it. Now, in the meantime, I'm just being called to do one more now. And where's my book? I'm reading this book at the moment, right? The Fire Starter Session, Soulful Practices to Success. I love it. Speaks my language. I'm going to just close my eyes. And when I was training to be a shaman a lot of years ago, we were taught to do this. I don't know whether you know this technique. And you just go like this, close your eyes, and ask what will best benefit myself and others who are listening right now. What is the message for today, aside from what the cards have shown? And then I commit to either the left or right of the page, and I feel left. Oh, okay. The main topic is deconstructing fear. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. Oh dear, that's a bit terrible, isn't it? That's by St. Thomas. So what that actually means, bringing forth, means listening to your intuition. Now, how come this makes sense? All right, you saw what I did. Today felt I needed to speak about intuition. And I sat with it for a little bit, and I thought, is that the message you want me to give to everybody? Yes, want to do it today. Okay, I've done it. And now I've picked something completely in alignment with that. So your intuition is where your power is. Your intuition is where your love is. Your intuition is where your soul is. And all you need to do is listen. And you can feel it in your body. So putting your hands on your body, on your heart, or down here on your belly, and just go, what is it? Or how can I best serve my customers today? Or what is it I need to do? What is it I need to do? And sometimes we don't get an answer straight away, and said, can you just let me know really quickly, please? Like that. What is it I need to do? And then your intuition will tell you. You can either hear it, or you'll move towards it, you're not even realizing you're moving towards it, or you'll have a picture in your mind come up, or you'll see something, and that will show you. Your outside world will show you that. I hope that makes sense. Start practicing it now, guys. Start practicing that very simply, you know, because like I'm highly intuitive. Yes, I am, and I don't always listen. And sometimes it's those most subtle little messages that are the most important. Not always those big, I got a shock like that. It's not always like that. It's always there. It's always there. I hope that helps for today. So getting clear on what you're scared on what you're scared of can instantly diffuse tickling anxiety bombs. I'll read that again. Getting clear on what you're scared of. What are you scared of? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of showing up? Are you afraid of hurting somebody because you feel powerless? What are you afraid of? If you know what you're afraid of, that will then, and you can acknowledge it, that will diffuse your anxiety. I've got so many people that ring me and talk to me for my readings and everything, and half of them have got anxiety. Like, holy moly. So what is it that you're afraid of that's causing the anxiety in the first place? Because that is what it is. Anxiety is fear of the future. It is you're afraid of something that's going to, of what can impact your future. Depression is the opposite. Depression is when you're feeling the other way. Depression is when you're worried about the past. Oh, I did this and I was like that, and I did that and I was this. You know, like, God always forgives. It doesn't matter what you've done, even if you've murdered somebody, God always forgives. And the biggest thing is that you forgive yourself, because the shit that you carry around is hurting you more than anyone could ever hurt you. No one can hurt you unless you allow them. Right? I understood that a long time ago. You take back your power. Everything that everything that happens to you is not to you to hurt you, like I used to think. It's for you to grow, to expand, to say, I'm done. See you later. I'm not putting up with this anymore, because then you create a new normal for yourself. You know, I'm sure that you can all relate to having a shit relationship with a man, or you know, with a partner. It's been shit. It's because you've attracted it. And once you start owning it, I attracted it because I was probably feeling shit myself. There was something on the subconscious level that was having me attracted. I wasn't aware of it, but I did do it. Yeah, you did. I mean, God doesn't give you spoonfuls of shit. You give yourself spoonfuls of shit. The universe doesn't give you spoonfuls of shit. You do that to yourself. And don't look at it in a negative way. Look at it in a positive way, because where you came from to this moment now, have you learned? Are you wiser? Because if you're not happy right now, that's okay too. Because then you think, well, why aren't I happy? What am I not being grateful for? And if your health is suffering, ask yourself this question: what is it inside myself that is hurting me right now? What is it about myself I'm not accepting? What is it that I'm not forgiving myself for? What is it that I'm hanging on to because I think that's the truth? Because that's what, and that over time causes your ill health. And the biggest one I find is not forgiving. You know, customers who, you know, my clients who don't want to forgive, and they want to hang on because they want to be right fighters. Dr. Phil uses that. I love that word, right fighters. They'd rather be right and alone and they're alienating themselves and they don't even know it. So are you a right fighter? because it's very important that you're right, because your esteem is so low that the more right you can be, you feel good. And is that helping you? Is it serving you? And are you getting sick from it? Do you have asthma or heart conditions? Because the only person you're not serving is you. And if you continue to do this, you won't get any better. And that is the truth. Now you can take it or leave it. If it resonates with you, fine. If it hits you hard and you get the shits with me, think about that one. Maybe that is a good thing. Because when people get into resistance, it's only because there's an element of truth in it. So my darlings, have a beautiful day. God be with you all. May that light inside yourself be shown. And getting back to deconstructing fear, bring forth that light within you. Bring it forth. Bring it forth to your family. Bring it forth to your children. Bring it forth for yourself. For yourself is the most important. And there's no such thing as a block. It's a construction to make you think there's a block. You're not blocked. You're just probably not allowing that beautiful flow to come through. Maybe I should talk more about that. Anyway, I've probably said goodbye 3 times and now I'm definitely going to do it. I'll talk to you on Friday. I'll have Q&As. Have your question ready, like, should I do this or should I do that, or can you help me here with, it's one question for you, okay? I don't do general readings here on this platform. If you want a general reading, then PM me and we can hook up with a reading. In the meantime, have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'll talk to you on Friday. Bye.